Really had nothing in my bank account, right? And I wanted to get back to being financially free, maybe earning, you know, $20,000-$30,000 a month. This is exactly what.
So we're talking about if you had zero in your bank account, what would you do?
I would do. Now that I know better, I've done this before, you can literally just save this video and just watch this over and over and over again, okay? So what I didn't know before was that it's actually really hard to get to 20 to 30,000 US dollars a month if you are working in a 9-to-5 job. Don't get me wrong, some people can do that, but it's less than 1% of all people, and most people will end up earning way less than $10,000 a month. It's just hard, right? It's competitive. There's a limited amount of positions at the top. So if you do a regular 9-to-5, it's difficult. So once I figured that out after a few years of working, I was like, okay, I need to find another solution. I need to find another vehicle to replace my full-time income. Number one, give me more time freedom, give me more leverage, more automation, and also allow me to generate even more money, right? So think about it logically. What are the things that can allow you to do that, right? You need automation, you need leverage, you need to be able to sell in US dollars, you need to be able to have a global audience. Well, the thing that comes to mind,
he's given a lot of great information,
is the internet, right? And so that's what I did. I went online and I did a whole bunch of research, and I discovered that there's a whole world of business models online, legitimate, real, powerful, good business models. Now, obviously you have to learn how to do it. And so the next few years, I spent a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of heartache failing and trying to succeed at different business models online. Now, eventually, after trying a whole bunch of junk and crap, some of them were okay, but some of them were just really a waste of time, I finally found one that had a lot of potential, right? And this is the one that actually changed my life. It's affordable, it's highly scalable, it's 100% online. You can do it as a solopreneur. That means one person only. You don't need to hire staff, nothing like that. Everything can be run from your laptop or computer and an internet connection. Sure, you can add your phone as well, but you do need a computer, okay? This is basic earning money online 101, right? You can't just do it with your phone. If people tell you that, they're full of shit. You need at least a computer because you need a big screen to be able to do stuff on, all right? Now, once I figured out how to do it, I had to figure out, okay, how do I learn how to do this thing, right? So I went out there and I found mentorship. I bought courses, I bought mentorship, and I went to internet conferences, things like that. I read books, and I chipped away at it, right? Because I didn't know anything. You know, I'm a finance guy. I graduated with a Bachelor of Commerce, right, from an Australian university, and I don't know anything about internet marketing. I was so bad with computers, right? But I had a dream, I had a goal, and so every day that I came home from the office, I would open up that course and I would learn, and then I would execute. I would learn, I would execute, I would learn, I would execute, and I chipped away at it slowly, every single day over a long period of time, right? I skipped some dinners, I skipped some barbecues, I skipped some drinking sessions, because my dream was not to get drunk, my dream was not to get high, my dream was to get out of my job and increase my income, and that was going to require time and effort, okay? Now, your goals are going to require a bit of sacrifice, okay? And I knew that, and I was willing to sacrifice. Not a ton of sacrifice, but a little bit. Yeah, you want to get stuff done? You got to do that instead of watch Netflix, okay? It's okay to watch a little bit of Netflix, but if you're watching it for 4 hours every single day, then you know you're not going to achieve your dreams, all right? So I made sure that I was chipping away at it, and then slowly but surely, I got really good at marketing online. And so essentially what I did was I was selling other people's digital products. It's a $17 billion industry called affiliate marketing. You can literally sell any product, a physical, you know, it could be a digital, you know, product, it could be a course, it could be a tool, it could be a software, it could be a powder, it could be a chair, it doesn't matter, right? But what I figured out was focusing on digital stuff gives you maximum profit margins, 40 to 70%. And so I focused on that. I got really good at it. And then that's slowly, eventually, how I generated sales and how I started earning more than my salary. And then eventually, a little while later, I decided to quit my job, okay? And so if I had to start all over again, if I woke up tomorrow with zero, the thing I would do is I would work very, very hard on learning how to build an affiliate marketing digital business where I sell digital products to people all over the world. That's what changed my life, and I would do that over and over and over and over again, all right? Let me know if you got some value from this. If you need to watch this again, just save this video. You can rewatch this as many times as you want, and you can just follow this step by step if you need to. If you're not following me on my channel, I always come up with content every single day to teach you how to become more successful using the power of the internet. You can just follow me right here.
Only two things that you need to do. And unfortunately, most people do these two things in the wrong order, which is what keeps them broke. But I'm going to show you how to do them in the right order with some tangible real-world examples so you can start using them today. And before I get into it, my name is Taylor. I got nothing to sell you. I just love seeing people be abundant in life. So both of these things have to do with one word, and the one word is maximization. The two things are time and money. Let me explain.
Wonderful. Time and money.
If you're at the beginning of your journey, you do not want to be focused on maximizing the money that you've got, trying to make a 10x return or 100x return or whatever it might be. Because if you're at the beginning of your journey, that means you don't have a lot of money yet, and therefore, even if you get a 10x return, it's not going to result in that much money. Your goal when you're on the beginning of your journey is to maximize the time you have during the day to put toward your money-making endeavors. Or put another way, we want you making the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time possible, and here's how. Firstly, we need to get you away from the perceived safety of a guaranteed paycheck. Reason being, if you're making a paycheck, it's because that paycheck is in return for a certain amount of hours that you've spent doing some tasks, meaning you've been exchanging time for money. And what we want to do is get away from that safety, especially if you're early on in your journey because you got time, and actually put yourself in a very high-risk situation of going into a month where you might not even know if you're going to make money that month or not, because you're in a position where you're not exchanging time for money, you're exchanging value for money, aka you are in a sales role within a company. The reason salespeople make the most in any company always, aside from maybe the owner, is because they are perpetually putting themselves at the most risk of not making money, and the most risks of not making money leads to the highest opportunity to make money. Here's an example. On my team, we have 10 salespeople. They start every month not knowing if they're going to make a dime or not because they're on 100% commission. Last month, a couple of the salespeople made 10 grand, some made 15, some made 20. And the top two people made $35,000 and $52,000 respectively. And again, they started that month at zero, not knowing if they would make a sale. High risk, high reward. And that's what you want to be doing at the beginning of your journey, putting yourself in a situation where you have a high potential reward so that you can maximize your time at the beginning of your journey and make the most amount in the shortest amount possible. And then when you've done that, you've accomplished step one, and you've been able to put aside 10 grand, 20 grand, 100 grand, 200 grand, which obviously is possible if you're making $50,000 a month. Then we move to step two, which is maximizing the money that you've made. And we do that by taking the money that you have made from your mind, from your mouth in sales, and turning it into tangible, appreciating, passive income producing assets, which of course could be real estate, and it could be a bunch of other stuff too. What matters is that when you're in step two, you are completely crazy, maniacally, obsessively focused on one investment vehicle so that you can gain more knowledge and wisdom in that investment type than 90%.
He has a whole lot of wonderful information here.
Plus of the population, which leads to you having a better opportunity to capitalize on it when the opportunities arise. I'm going to go into exactly how to invest that, like tangible steps, in the next video, so follow for more.
$10 million. The average person in that category is not average to start with. They're way above average. But the typical person, I guess it should say, typical family that has a $1 to $10 million net worth is very understated. They buy their clothes at unimpressive places and they're unimpressive clothes. They enjoy nice vacations, but they seldom post them for you to see on Instagram because they didn't take you on vacation. They wanted to go on vacation. The Christmas presents around the tree are very reasonable. The car that they drive is understated, and the valet is seldom impressed until he gets the tip. It's usually a used Camry or a nice used Honda or a nice old pickup truck of some kind. Because the people that achieve that first layer of wealth, that $1 to $10 million, the way they did it is they didn't do it for you. They're not mad at you, but they don't care what you think. They were not living their life to impress others. They loved their life, not yours. They were not trying to emulate or be the Joneses. They just didn't care what you thought. There's a real thing that says when you quit worrying about what people think and you're actually living life for you and your family, and that causes you to make completely different purchases and live a completely different lifestyle.
Very good information. So basically, you have to dream big. You have to find a way to get passive income. You want to maximize your time and money, and you want to stop your wasteful spending. V to VTV.